Hi there all. Now this has absolutely changed my world as a teacher. This Google Forms with the add-on of Flubaroo when you access your results in Google Sheets. It is absolutely amazing. You do need a Google account. I just use a personal account now because my new school isn't a Google school. Students don't need to have Google accounts. You can just send this link through emails, or they can access the URL at the top. And has dramatically changed my life for the better. So what you need to do is you do need to create the test, which may take a bit of time. However, you can do this with another person or 3 people. You can all be working on the same Google form at the same time to make this process quicker. So I designed this test as a semester overview of our maths concepts. I usually start off with some with their names and make them required. That's what that real red asterisk is. And then you can insert text, images, videos, as you can see over here, into your test as you wish. You can have short answer questions. You can also have multiple choice questions, as you can see here. You can do a few different, these can be scale type questions. There's a range of questions that you can do. And they're quite easy to make. You could learn how to make one by watching some simple YouTube videos, I'm sure. So once you have created your test, you'll then click on the send button, and then if you have your student's email address, you could email them out to them, or you could just send a link to the students and put that up on the board or as a QR code so they could access the test. So once that's done, you'll start to see these responses start to be filled out once the students complete it. So you can currently see that 41 students have completed my test, and that will happen live. So if I click on that tab, it will give you a nice little snapshot of what's happening, okay? And this will all happen live as you go. You'll start to see responses come in for each question, and it gives you a nice little overview through bar graphs and pie charts of the responses. But what you want to spend most of your time on is the Google Sheets, and this collates it automatically into a Google Sheet. Is like a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, as you can see here. I have changed the names for obviously privacy purposes, but the students' names would be filled out as well. You can see a timestamp. And then over to the right, you'll see the responses to all the questions as I scroll through. Now, the only laborious part of this is for each question, so down each column, you want to make sure that it is the same as your answer key. So you can see I was the first one to do this test, where it says teacher here, and that's my answer key. There are all the correct answers. Now, for the short answer questions, as you can see here, you'll start to see some responses done in different ways. Now, for this question, I wanted them to write PM or AM as it was a 12-hour question, so that is why something like this would be incorrect. But if you did have something that was maybe a small spelling mistake, or there was some spacing issues with the answer, what you would want to do is you want to copy your cell, so that's the correct one which it's going to be based from, and just go through those students who have got it correct, but they may have written it in the incorrect manner. So there may have been a spelling mistake, for example, and all you would do is just copy and paste, and so it's in the right formatting compared to your answer. So that's the only slightly time-consuming process. However, it does not take too long. Now, once that is done, is when you want to go to Flubaroo to do all the magic. Now, you can see here that I've already got the add-on, but you will need to go to Get Add-ons, and you'll need to search for it. You can see mine has already appeared, but if it doesn't appear on that main screen, just search for it in that box, and there you go, and you would download it by clicking on that button. But as you can see, I've already got the add-on, so I'll just go to regrade assignment. This is because I'm doing it for the second or third time. For the very first time, it will just say grade assignment. So if you click on that, Flubaroo will start to work its magic. You get this little notification if you're updating or you've got some new data. So maybe if this was the second time and you've got some post-test data, well, then you'll start to have this pop up, but otherwise you won't need to worry about it. So just click yes. And all there is just 2 simple steps. So the first one is if you wanted to weight the questions differently, I just keep them all as 1. I don't bother weighting the questions, so I just go to continue for step 1. Step 2 is where you want to select that answer key. Okay, so I usually do it first so it's easy to find at the top, and you just want to make sure that button there is selected, and that's where all the answers will be corrected on. And then Flubaroo starts to grade the assignment. Okay, now this only takes a couple of minutes, depending on how many responses you have. It may take a little bit longer. Okay, so we'll just scroll through, start thinking, you start to see the magic start to happen. The grading is in progress. Down the bottom of the screen, you'll see there's a new grades tab now. Okay, so that's starting to happen. And then over the next minute or so, you'll start to see some results start to filter through. As you can see now, it's happening on the screen. So I'll just wait a moment while all this loads. And there we go. Grading is complete. So you'll see a nice little summary over here, all the points, the averages, but this is where you want to scroll down and start having a look at your results. So when you start to see students in red, okay, that means, as you can see over here in the percentage, they've got a percentage below 70%. Okay, so that's those students there as you scroll down. So that will automatically be done by Flubaroo. If you also scroll across to look at each question, okay, you'll start to see some orange questions. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom at the end of all the students where you see the class total result, you'll see that for this question, 53.85%, okay, got that question correct. So anything below 60% are sort of the orange-based questions, which are the questions in your cohort which are of concern. So that's really helpful to get that quick snapshot from Flubaroo. Saw there a 33% question, and here was my lowest question at 30% with this perimeter question. So I could obviously immediately go as a whole class and maybe do some questions around that. So that is Flubaroo. As you can see, it's made my life so much easier. It's quickened up that assessment process. Okay, I also like to then copy and paste this information into an Excel spreadsheet. So I have something like this, a ZPD spreadsheet. Okay, all you need to do is you need to put in the names down the side. So I might just pop in names there. Okay, you can put in the questions. So what I would do is I would just copy all those questions from the top. I just do a special paste. I want the Unicode text so it doesn't mess up with all my formatting. Bang, all the questions are in there. Then you just put in ones across the side here. So 1 is correct. Okay, and then all you need to do is if you go, and I think it was 4 I did, so I just take those top 4. So 1 is correct, 0 is incorrect. I then paste that text information into here, and then you can see that all the nice color code there. This spreadsheet, ZPD sorts them, so there's only 4 students here, but then it goes from easiest to most difficult questions. Okay, so if you had a whole class, this is a really helpful spreadsheet, and I'm happy to share this spreadsheet. If there's any people out there, feel free to contact me at theteacherbible@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to send through this spreadsheet. But that's what I do with the data, and that gives me a nice visual ZBD aspect of what questions did most of the students struggle with, and then helps with my maths groupings. As you can hear, this has been an absolute joy to use, and it's changed my life with assessment and the way that I teach. So hopefully you found all this useful today, and I hope to see a lot of you using Google Forms and Flubaroo in the future. Feel free to contact me at the Teacher Bible.